In all the great religious traditions, there's a sense that walking, a particular rhythm of walking with a purpose, with a destination, with a goal in mind, helps to contour the soul in some way and to unburden it so that one arrives at the destination more light-hearted and perhaps, as the Irish mystic John O'Donoghue says, with your soul contoured by natural beauty to better fit the embrace of divine beauty. People love walking in Tasmania, across our wilderness. When I arrived as parish priest in 2015 in the Huon Valley, I immediately thought of the El Camino de Santiago de Compostela. Why not have our own mini Santiago de Compostela, here Santiago de Cygnet in southern Tasmania. Well, welcome fellow pilgrims. It's fantastic to see 160 pilgrims undertaking the way to St James Pilgrimage. We have a huge contingent from what we call the mainland to our little parish down here, the southernmost parish in Australia. We adopt as many of the customs of the great El Camino de Santiago as possible. So the scallop shell, the traditional sign of the pilgrims, blessed by me, and they also carry a pebble which can represent some burden in their life.
I know.
Buen camino.
We start at Mountain River on the southern slopes of Mount Wellington, and we walk over little hills through orchard country.
The views are lovely, breeze is nice. Very good. Hot.
Very good. It's warm, but beautiful countryside.
Getting there. Got rocks in my shoes, but we push forward.
It's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. A bit more hilly than I anticipated, but we're doing well. Oh, the country is unbelievably beautiful. I haven't been up this way. It's gorgeous.
We break for lunch under some trees on a hillside. It's the first time that people have got together in a way where they can mingle and chat and enjoy a little sandwich and, of course, some local cherries.
Joe, you're good? Everyone's doing well?
And then down to Ranelagh on the banks of the Huon River. There we pause after our 16 kilometres. People can sleep in little tents if they wish to pitch a tent outside, or we have some covered accommodation for them to lay their sleeping mats. At that venue, we have various events. I give a talk on St Francis of Assisi, the patron saint of ecology. St Francis of Assisi helps us to express that deeper relationship of human beings to the universe.
My name's Leanne, I'm a member of the Way to St James Committee. It's my great privilege to be interviewing Dan Mullins, musician, pilgrim, I should say pilgrim first, musician and Camino podcast person. So can we give Dan a round of applause before we start?
Thank you so much. Thank you.
We have lots of music coinciding with the Cygnet Folk Festival.
Find nobody else like me.
And of course a marvellous barbecue and meal together. That's where the conviviality comes to the fore.
I started with the first one in 2016 and I've done every one that's been on since, and the organisation is really good with providing the food but also plenty of water, toilet stops, transport if you can't walk. So yeah, it's very well organised.
The camaraderie is fantastic. You sort of catch up with people you've met before and actually talk to people who are friends who've done it in previous years.
Well, people come from certainly mainland Australia, continental Australia, to our island state. We also had this year half a dozen from overseas.
I came to see a friend and meet up with friends on the walk and experience Tassie in a different way.
I come from all the way from Italy, and I think Tasmania is beautiful, so I really like it.
I think it's a wonderful experience. People are getting different things out of it. I had heard about the one in Spain. You can take away from it whatever you want.
On the second day, we travel along the banks of the Huon River. Once again, a magnificent stretch of water. Then over the hills into Cygnet itself. More extraordinarily, during the COVID pandemic, we had to cancel. So we thought, why not have a global response to the global pandemic? And we've instituted an idea that anyone around the world can walk on that weekend 16 kilometres a day in a meditative fashion near where they live or between particular points of interest to them, but of some natural beauty. And this year, we had 1,200 pilgrims in almost 30 countries, every continent except the Antarctic, walking at the same time.
I like the thought in the global Camino that you could join this worldwide group of people who in their own location went off and participated in what is manageable walk, and then you could post shared photos of that online. So you recapture that whole community feeling. I decided that this year I would take time out and come over and actually walk it with people so that they see me face to face and I see them face to face.
The other custom we adopt is the stamping of the credential, as they call it in Spain, or the passport we call it. So there are 4 stamps, passports are presented, so there's a permanent record of their journey on this pilgrimage.
10 seconds. We were going to go on the bus later.
Here we are.
Even though it's only a 2-day pilgrimage, when the pilgrims arrive at this little Spanish church in this village in Tasmania, there's a sense that they have reached the goal. They have reached the destination, which made sense then of their 2 days on pilgrimage through the countryside. We deliberately coincide with the Cygnet Folk Festival. We process with a little band provided by the Cygnet Folk Festival. Into the church where we have the final festive ritual. As they do, if you're a pilgrim on the El Camino, when you get to the great cathedral of Santiago de Compostela, then of course you participate in the final festive ritual. start with a Spanish guitarist, again, part of the folk festival. At the end of the pilgrimage, they lay that pebble at the foot of the icon of St James, and it represents a lightening of that burden, some healing that may have taken place, body, soul, spirit, during their pilgrimage. We had a Georgian choir from Melbourne. Part of the festival, but entirely wonderful, surrounding our pilgrims with their beautiful singing of Georgian hymns at the same time as the pilgrims were being incensed, which is, again, one of the traditions of the great cathedral of Santiago in Compostela. Persons of all faiths or none, any ideology, it doesn't matter. During the 2 days of the walk, they're looking forward to arriving at that culminating point and joining in the spirit of John Bunyan. So we sing as our motif, to be a pilgrim. I am proud of it because it's proved out of a small beginning, something great can grow. And who's to say, in 100 years' time, what dimensions it will have? I hope worldwide, but always earthed here in the Huon Valley in Tasmania. If you're able to physically join us, we open registrations on waytostjames.com.au, and there'll be plenty of indications on Facebook. Altogether, it makes for a very companionable pilgrimage worldwide.